YouTube. This is going to be a different video from what I usually post, besides guns and lights and stuff like that. So I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube of homesteaders and living off-grid, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that because I do live on 14 acres, and you could say I'm living sort of like that. Not really, but I'm trying to. So I just wanted to give some pointers to people and show them that living like that is not all it's made out to be. A lot of these videos are extremely edited. A lot of these videos are not realistic, I'm going to tell you that. Some of them I do see people doing a lot of hard work, but again, I just wanted to make this video to show you people that, and I only have 300 subscribers. I don't know how many are going to actually watch this video, but yeah, I just wanted to show people, the actual realities of this and the costs involved. So this place is 14 acres. I'm in Virginia. To get 14 acres in Virginia, you got to go down South Virginia. So I used to live in Northern Virginia for my entire life. The townhouse there that I was in was $500,000 when we sold it, and I got this place for $350,000. So right there is $350,000, and you can imagine what the mortgage would be for that. So now I'll start off with some of the repairs I've already made on this property. So this house is built in '93, by the way, so a lot of repairs. So I've repaired this railing right here. I've repaired all of these 4x4s, and I have to repair the railing right here. The prior owners just did that crap, and a lot of this stuff was all falling apart, and they did that just to pass home inspection. So I've built this railing myself, and it takes a decent amount of skill to do this. So, but I just want to give you an example of the costs. So that you see right here, and this over here, along with the rest of the railing, the boards, and the wood right here, that was $1,000 just for that. So that's $1,000, and I'm doing this myself. Imagine if you paid somebody to do this. So it's not cheap. Only about 4 acres is cleared of this property. So you got 4 acres of grass I have to mow. And the equipment for that is expensive. You got to have a zero-turn mower or some kind of riding, mower. Brand new, those things are $3,000 to $4,000. The cheaper ones from Craftsman, those are $2,000 at least. So, but yeah. So you got to think of stuff to maintain the property. So let's just go for a $3,000 mower plus $1,000 for the deck. That's $4,000 right there. Now, I have a well, and the well needs filtration because there's a lot of sand and it has a lot of iron in the water because this area has lots of iron. And the filtration system was only about $300 for me. I got 4 20-inch of those big blue filters. So for sediment, heavy metals, carbon, for taste. So that was only about $300. So that's $4,300 right there. Now, if I paid a company to do that, like let's just pretend you don't know how to do any of this stuff. I got a quote just for a sediment filter for 3 companies for $800. So that's a lot of money right there. Now, this is going to be my garden. This used to be a garden, and I'm going to be turning it back into one. You can actually see the square plots right here. So I need to de-weed this and till it. And I'm going to be planting corn and pumpkins and sunflowers and so forth. And I already have a section over here that I made. I got tomatoes, hot peppers, banana peppers, watermelons, carrots, red skin potatoes, and white potatoes. And I also have green beans, larger tomatoes, cucumbers, and Brussels sprouts growing in some little pots over there. So yeah, so I'm going to be definitely doing, growing my own food. It's not going to be something that I could live off the entire year, but it will be, supplementing what I eat. So that will be nice because food prices are really expensive right now. So once I get this huge thing going, and it's going to go all the way up to this pole right here, it'll be nice. So, and this property also has fruit trees. Unfortunately, my girlfriend went a little crazy on the chainsaw, and I told her to leave these trees alone right here, and she cut down a pear tree. So the tree you see right in front of me is an apple tree, I believe. So, or that could be the pear tree, I don't know. She cut down one of the trees, so that's unfortunate. So, the other things I have on the property in the back there, and I'll walk back there, I have some blueberry bushes, I have raspberry bushes, I have plum trees, I have another blueberry tree over there, and so yeah, I got a lot of fruits and vegetables and trees and small little orchard stuff. So I mean, it's nice. It's definitely going to save money on the grocery bill, that's for sure, when all this stuff blooms and ripens and all that stuff. So you can actually see the little tree right there that she cut. It's unfortunate, that thing right there. So I'm not sure how old it was, but I know that stuff is expensive. So, and that brings me to another point. There was a off-grid video that I watched of this couple that just had a baby. They're living on the coast near a beach, and they got a creek and all that good stuff, and they're planting fruit trees and all that. That's expensive. Apple trees and pear trees, small ones, those can be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This apple tree right here is worth a couple $1,000s. So yeah, my girlfriend cut down a $1,000 apple tree. So and here's another example. So this barn used to be a forestry building back in the 40s, and after about 20 years or whatever, they sold it to the original owner of this property from the 60s, and he bought it, took it apart, moved it over here, built it himself, or rebuilt it, I should say, and it was built in the 60s, so or rebuilt in the 60s. So this barn is 70 years old. It's a 100 by 40 or 50-foot barn. So there are videos of homesteaders making their own barns. A lot of them are metal barns, metal skin on the outside. They're not board and batten like this one. This is an old school barn. But stuff like that is expensive. I mean, a building like that can go for $20,000, $30,000 or more. It just depends on the size. So that's a lot of money. According to the paperwork, this building is worth about $13,000. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, to give you a cost of repairs I've done to this thing, there's 4 windows right there. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 windows in the front. There's even more in the back. All of them had broken glass. I replaced it all with plexiglass. Do you know how much that cost? That was $1,000 in plexiglass, at least. I think I paid a little bit more, actually. So let's see, mower, all that other stuff, the deck. We're at like $5,000-$6,000 now, and I've only been here for 7 months. Now the repairs on the inside of the house, the electrical outlets, the light switches, the paint, all the typical stuff that you would do when you move into a house. Basically, so far, I just want to give you an example. In 7 months, I have spent about $20,000 or $30,000, and that's in hard cash. Okay, so that's $30,000 in less than a year for the repairs of this place. That's also counting the tools, the chainsaws, everything you need to do this stuff. So it's not cheap, and I've been doing all of this myself. So imagine if you paid somebody to do this. So it's a lot of work as well. So to give you an example of more repairs, this wall right here needs to be repaired. It's got major termite damage, so I'm going to have to cut it about right there and then replace the boards. Wood is expensive, so yeah, I've done a lot of the dusk to dawn lighting on here. You can see I haven't even buried that wire. That's just an extension cable, so I need to run a UFB cable for outdoors and bury that. And of course, I'm going to have to be doing that by hand. So that's a lot of work. This is the hardest part. The hardest part is clearing the land. I have, like I said, only about 4 acres or so, give or take roughly, is cleared. The rest of the 10 is woods. This is all forest. This used to be all pasture. You see, this is a riding ring where people would ride their horses in a complete circle in a ring, and you can see the original fencing here from the 60s that the previous owner had put in. And he did the fencing by just cutting trees down and cutting them to size and sticking the poles in the ground. No concrete or anything. So to give you an idea of the costs of fencing, I want to fence what's already cleared out. So that's only 2 acres at least, about 2 or 3 acres worth. So actually less, probably about 2 acres. Sorry for repeating myself, but I've gotten quotes from 3 fencing companies so far, and the cheapest one was $16,000. That gives you a little perspective. $16,000. That's for wood and labor costs. I've gotten some cheaper ones and more expensive ones, but I've priced this for wood costs myself, and just for the boards, the beams, the concrete, the auger to dig the holes, it was $7,000 in materials. So we're already at $10,000 just for the deck, the barn windows, and for the fencing for 2 acres. Do you see what I'm talking about here? On top of the $25,000 that I've already spent on house repairs. So this back here in the woods used to be all pasture. All of this stuff, minus this bigger, tree, which is probably 60, 70 years old at least. So that tree was probably, fence post height when this property was first purchased, back in the 60s. So the rest of these trees, you see how thin and small they are? All these smaller things that are in here, this one that I cut down right here, this stuff has only been growing for about 30 years. This little jungle back here, this you couldn't see at all in there. It was like that. All of that you see. I've been doing this by hand for about a month now. So most of this stuff I did in the last week, but I've been working on this for about a month or 2. So this goes pretty far back there. The camera can't really show the depth, but you see these thin trees. That's just, that's like 30 years of growth. It's amazing how you don't maintain anything and it'll grow back. So this is going to be so hard to do, all of this stuff, and a lot of it is poison ivy and poison sumac, and I've already been itching like crazy, and it's just, like I said, it's a lot of work. I don't have the equipment for this, so I have to do it all by chainsaw, all by hand, tree by tree. But to just give you an example, one company came out here yesterday and they measured this at 2.3 acres, this woods back here. They wanted $8,500 to do this, and they would clear it in 2 days. That's a lot of money, and that's cash you have to up front. If you don't have the money to do it, you can't pay for it, unless you get a loan or something. So the equipment to do this stuff, like a little Kubota tractor or something, those are $20,000 to $30,000 new. That's like a car payment. So if you don't have the money to do this stuff, good luck. A lot of people were posting comments on these homesteader videos. Oh, that's the life. Oh, I would love to do this. Just, sip my coffee on my porch and just like look out the window and do nothing. Okay. Go for it. That's not the reality of it. So unless you buy a property that's completely already done and doesn't need work like this, but what's the enjoyment in that? So and that's another thing with these homesteader videos. The one that I was watching where the couple that just had their baby and they live off like a coast and they got a beach and so forth. She's sitting in her little tent while her husband is doing all the work. And she's just sitting there eating coconut and, chomping her lips and smacking her tongue and stuff. Oh, this is so good. And she's just sitting there barefooted and they're walking around in, tank tops and bikinis and stuff like that doing this work. Yeah, no, you need to wear a pair of jeans, a long shirt, some work gloves. I'm sorry, that's just not the way things are. You don't, that's, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I'm not going to hit on these people, but if, that's what floats their boat, more power to them. So, not sure what else to say, but, a skid steer with the mulching attachment on it, that's $120,000. It's just, solar panels. If you want to live off grid in the country like this, like I'm living out here, solar panels, I've gotten quotes of $15,000 to $20,000. It's so expensive to live off grid. If you don't want to rely on the power company like that pole over there that I have and pay $180 for electric bill every month, I mean, go for it. Get some solar panels. I guess if you get the loan for it and you pay the loan, that's basically your electric bill. I can see that, but that stuff's cheap, and that's if you can, qualify for the loan. So, or not cheap. I mean, now, like I said, $15,000-$20,000 for solar panels. It's just not realistic for most people. It really isn't. So, all this needs to be cleared out. It's going to be a lot of work, I'm telling you guys. So, and a lot of money. So, like I said, I have only been in here for a year, less than a year, about 7 months, and I already have $25,000-$30,000 of my cash in the bank gone. It's all gone. So, and it looks like I really don't have much to show for it besides trees laying on the ground, a few repairs here and there. It's just all gone. So, and I've been doing everything myself too. I haven't hired anybody for anything. Anyway, so I know this video is a little bit different, and I'm not trying to, complain and sound like a whiner or whatever like that, but it's just, I'm trying to give the reality, try to smack these people in the face to let them know that all of these homesteader videos, all of these off-grid videos, most of them are bullshit. I want to say 90% of them are bullshit. So these are rich people. These people are probably millionaires, and they don't want to live in the city anymore. They don't have a job, so they just sit there, make videos 24/7, probably living off of YouTube because so many subscribers that they have now. So it's just not feasible for 99.5% of the people out there. I have this property, I have all of this stuff, and I still have to go to work, and I still have to pay the bills, and I still have to pay the mortgage, and I still have to pay all that stuff. So I can't be out here 7 days a week doing this stuff. So, just the way it is. Reality sucks. So YouTube videos, a lot of them are fake. Anyway, I don't want to, continue rambling on. So, I hope you guys liked the video, and if you want to see more of the property, let me know. Maybe another video of the barn, the stables that are in there, the workshop that I have. I have a creek behind the house, where the other 10 acres is. The other 8 acres, and that 8 acres is wooded as well, and it's actually worse than this over here. The trees are even bigger. So yeah, this is years and years and years going to take, as far as the time to do all of this stuff. So now if I was rich like those millionaires, I could just buy the equipment, do this stuff in a couple days, and have 5 million subscribers, and envying me, wishing that that's what, their life was like. So, now, it's not all work, and then, 24/7, of course, I do get to sit on the porch, and I do get to just sit there and just not think about anything, and just, have a drink, or, a couple beers, and just relax. And I love it, you know what I mean? The only thing that annoys me with this property is apparently there's a gas pipeline about 3 miles away, and the pumps, for the pressure of the gas pipes is kind of annoying. I didn't realize that when I purchased this, but yeah, it's definitely much better than living out in the city. I will never live in the city or suburbs ever again. So that's the only positive for this. But you still do have nasty neighbors. You have people coming up my driveway and just annoying me. The neighbors, most of them are really nice, but some of them, they just walked through the woods to introduce themselves instead of being normal people coming up my driveway and knocking on the door. Maybe I'm complaining, But yeah, it's definitely much better than living in a townhouse. So the video is 20 minutes long. I don't want to drag this out anymore. But yeah, those are the costs. 25,000, almost $30,000 gone in 7 months, and I don't even have a tractor. So yeah, reality sucks, doesn't it, guys? Thank you very much.